Do I have a mute button? Mute. Okay. All right. I'm on mute. Okay, I decided to come on and share a few things. First of all, I went to Walmart and I had to get some things. So I got these 2 new products. They're new to me. I don't know if they're new to anyone else, but excuse me. Tattoo Studio, Maybelline, New York, Tattoo Studio, brow tint pen. 24 hours, does not transfer, does not smudge, blah, 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 blah. And it's got the little bristles. So you can draw. It's like each individual hair. But as you can see on my hand right here. Okay. So what I did was I did the little things just to see what it looks like. Okay. That's what it looks like on. Now, obviously I wouldn't put it like that, but see next to it, the blue. I haven't worn it on my eyes yet because I just got it. But when you wash it off, it leaves behind a bluish green tint. So I don't know if, I mean, at least you'll have 24-hour eyebrows. They just might be blue at the end of the day because when the color comes off, it leaves behind that. It's like a bluish, purplish. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know. There it is. See? Okay. No big deal for me. I don't really lick my fingers and wipe my eyebrows off. These are just pencil with primer underneath and then lots of powder on top to keep them from bleeding because I don't have eyebrows to begin with. So I don't have any hair to like keep, I don't have any eyebrow hairs to keep like the color. I don't know if that helps keep color where it's supposed to be, but when I draw them in with a pencil or even when I use powder, it bleeds down the creases of my skin because I'm 40 years old and I'm not like perfect. I do have wrinkles, but the creases in my skin, especially so towards the end of the day where those little creases are, my eyebrows will start to bleed unless I put a shitload of powder on top. So, which I forgot to bring. Which one did I get? I think it's Wet n Wild. Okay, but anyways, I also got Master Precise All Day felt tip liner. I haven't tried this yet either. Let's see what it does to my skin. And this is also by Maybelline. Okay, and also for ladies, I don't know about, oh yeah, that's nice. I like that. Very nice. Yeah. I don't know about some of you ladies and okay, guys, if you're watching it, you probably don't want to watch. This is about menstrual cycles. I have like a horrifying menstrual cycle. Let me see. This is supposed to be waterproof too, I think. Oh, God, it feels waterproof once you get wet. Is it supposed to be waterproof? Precise shade liner up to 12-hour wear. Intense color, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, when mixed with water and rubbed, that's what it does. So after it sets, it should be great. Good to go. Anywho, those are the 2 products I tried. But okay, as far as your menstrual cycle goes, I have like a horrifying menstrual cycle. It's like a murder scene, okay? So I generally take Seasonique, which is a birth control that inhibits your menstrual cycle. Inhibits. You only have 3 menstrual cycles a year. 4 a year, once every 3 months. So once every 3 months, you'll have your period. And mine, when I take Seasonique, my period is much lighter. And it's a lot less days because normally my period will last 10 to 15 days. So I'm like bleeding half of the fucking month. And it's disgusting. And it's the first probably 5 days. So if you take Seasonique, you only have it every 3 months and it brings your cycle way down. Now, if you take birth control in general, it will bring your cycle down. It will help control your cycle. It's not going to be as bad. But me, I'm like really sensitive to smells and really sensitive to slimy and sticky and bloody things, and I can't handle it. Like seriously, my senses get disgusted and overwhelmed, and I get overstimulated just because of my period alone. Even if I'm taking birth control. Now, when I'm not taking birth control, I can't deal with it. And I'm debilitated. I can't even go anywhere or do anything because I have to change my tampon every hour, maybe 2 hours. Actually, every hour. And that's like the super plus. Every hour, for the first 3 days at least, and it's awful. Okay, and wear a pad to make sure that I don't mess it up. Now, once you're taking birth control, if you have a period like mine that's like a bloody murder scene, once you're taking birth control, it controls that and it brings it way, way down to only at a maximum like 7 days a week. I mean, 7 days a month, 7 days a week, duh. 7 days a month, and it's only once every 3 months. But they also have a lot of people, more people know about these than I realize, but these, I don't know if anyone remembers when they came out with Insteads. Like, these are just like Insteads, okay? Insteads are, instead of it's the period cup. It's like this little ring here. These are Flex, pretty much the same. It's $15 for a box of 12. But I'm not a very sexually active person. So this is one of my life hacks. I'm not a very sexually active person, but the person that I am sexually active with is only around like on very rare occasions. So it really sucks when, nature's in the middle of shit. So it ruins everything. You can see somebody maybe 6 times a year, and when it just so happens that every time that happens, you're on your cycle, well, then it sucks ass. So these, as long as you are not bleeding heavy, don't get me wrong, don't go out there on like your heavy day and put one of these in and think you're going to have sex, because it's not going to work. You're just going to have stuff squishing out from the edges and shit. It's disgusting. But all this does is, I'll open one to show you. Okay. They look like this. They look like this. It's just like a diaphragm. I don't know if, okay. I knew some women that were olden days. Okay, my baby's dad's mom told me some tricks, like to keep your man happy, and a few other elders of mine taught me some tricks, whatever. So I guess like when you're on your period way back when, they used to use diaphragms and sponges, like put a sponge inside the diaphragm, put the diaphragm inside, and that would allow you to have sex without your period getting everywhere. So your menstrual flow. So that's what this is, just like a diaphragm, but this is actually a menstrual cup for your period. And it goes inside. You squeeze it like this, and you stick it inside your vagina. You go up your vagina, and then it goes like this and pops open. And then your cervix will sit just like that. So that anything that comes out is going in here and not anywhere else. This pops open tight around your vaginal opening so that nothing can come around. So if you're on a light to regular flow, or light to regular flow, you can still have sex. If you want the added protection of putting a sponge in there, you can. Sea sponges, I've been hearing things about sea sponges, and I wouldn't even think of putting a sea sponge in my vagina because I know they're grown in the ocean. And don't creatures live inside those things? Like creatures in the sand, and I don't know. That just sounds weird to me. But they have other sponges that aren't from the sea, so please use the ones that are made for that and have been tested and tried by please be careful what you stick in your vagina. Of course, I'm saying that, and half these women don't care what goes in there. Don't judge, Ember. Don't judge. Needless to say, this is one of my tips. This is one of my life hacks. I very rarely have to use it, if ever, but if it happens, and it's just the way life goes. But yeah, I don't believe the man can feel it. I don't believe he can. I don't know. I have a tilted uterus. So like inside my abdomen, most uteruses go like this, and this would be the cervix. I'll do it this way. Okay, wait. This is from the side. Okay, most uteruses from the front, from the side, from the front, go down like this. So it's the cervix right here. Okay, and this is the vaginal canal. Now inside mine, it's like this. Mine is tilted. It's not like normal like this. Mine is tilted like this. So when I put those things in, they kind of go like, they're not like this. They're kind of like this. And I don't know if he can feel it, but it's just a little piece of rubber. I can't imagine that would be very uncomfortable for anyone but me if it were to be uncomfortable. But that being said, that's one of my tips. If you need more protection, if you are kind of heavy, you can put a sponge inside first and then put this up. Be careful not to get things like that lost in there. It's better than, I know there's some women that have had sex or used tampons. I mean, had sex or used masturbation devices like dildos and had tampons get lodged into their cervix, because when you have your blood flow, your cervix is open. So remember that. Don't use like tampons and shit and have sex, because you're going to hurt yourself and you're going to ruin your vagina forever. At least you're going to have a very expensive hospital visit, okay? Tampons can get lodged into your cervix if you have sex while you have them in. So don't do that. Get this. Flex. Clean, comfortable, confident. Comfortable for ultimate leak protection or prevention. And it's 12 menstrual discs. 12-hour period protection. Yeah, right, not mine. More like 2-hour menstrual protection for mine. Yeah. And if you do use them, you do have to reach your finger inside your vagina and you have to grab the edge and pull it out. And when you do so, it is going to everywhere. Do not flush these, okay? All you have to do is pull it out, empty it in the toilet, rinse it off, and throw it in the trash. These are disposable. These are disposable. There's another one, the Diva Cup, that's not disposable. I think you can reuse that one. I've never used it. The Diva Cup, don't have sex with the Diva Cup in, because that's also different. That might hurt your man. The Diva Cup, maybe it's not the Diva Cup. There's the Diva Cup, and then there's one like the Diva Cup that has a little thing that protrudes out the end. It's almost like a tampon string, but it's not. It's just a tiny little piece so you can grab it and pull the cup out. Don't have sex with that in either, because you might hurt your man, seriously. And just don't do that. I think common sense, but a lot of people lack common sense. Okay. Just one of my life hacks. I just wanted to share that with you. As for these products here, the Master Precision, Master Precise All Day Liquid Liner by Maybelline. This is the black. I'm going to try it in a minute. Generally, all I wear is like a little bit of coral or pink eyeshadow just on my lid and on my under eye, and then mascara and eyebrows and powder and blush. That's all I wear. I don't really go haywire with all this shit. Like, I don't want a lot of makeup. I don't want to look totally different when I have it on. So I just want like eyebrows and some lashes, and that's it. And then I wear the coral or the pink eyeshadow because it brings out my color in my eyes. Anywho, so yeah. Tattoo Studio brows. They leave a blue. When you wipe it off, it does leave a blue mark. So you will be running around with Smurf eyebrows when you don't have your makeup on. And that is the Tattoo Studio Maybelline New York. It does this when you wash it. That's the eyeliner when it gets smeared. That's only right after I put it on though. But it seems pretty waterproof. It's like getting sticky. Not sticky, but what's the word? Like, you know, when things are water resistant or waterproof, they're kind of they get like tacky, but not, and it's not sticky. It's just like I don't know how to explain it. But anyways, yeah. That's it. Those are my life hacks for the day. That's all. Thanks for watching. Yeah. I got a VIP. Coming to see me. And I'm so excited. Let's go get you some Flex. Clean, comfortable, confident menstrual cups. Honestly, when I have my period, I don't prefer these, but you know. When more than nature calls. When booty calls. There you go. When booty calls. That's what you need. Flex. Flex instead. The insteads are the same. Flex also has a pack with, it's called the let's see. Okay, what did it call it? Okay, well, they have a pack that has both the menstrual cup and the disc. And the menstrual cup, you can see, has a little piece of that you pull out. I think it's silicone. I don't know. But I wouldn't have sex with that in. It just looks like it could be like forced places it shouldn't be. I don't think your man would appreciate it. But yeah, make sure you get the disc, not the cup. And you can see, disc, very different. Very different. This is a disc. Goes in like this. Up, pops open. Your cervix lodges in the middle. Keeps anything from coming out. Because it all catches in here, and this forms a seal around your vaginal. Now, I don't know how that happens, because I know my vagina is not that wide. Wait, it has. Never mind. Shh. They're great. The cup is not like this. It has another piece that comes down like this. It's like it looks like this, like that. And you would pull this to pull it out. That's not what you want. Don't get one of those. I don't believe you can have sex with those. I'm not sure, but this is just my hack. So life hack, if you still want to be sexually active and your period is light, get one of these. The Instance or Flex. That's it. Thank you for watching. We should talk about stuff like this more often, like everyone on YouTube should. I think sex and all these things that I was overly protected from. Like, seriously? Once I hit the real world, I'm not going to lie to you. When I was like 13, I was a little hoe. Okay, hoe is not, I don't like to use the word hoe because people are sexually active. They're sexually active with however many people they want to be sexually active with. That's their vagina and that's their business. It doesn't make them any different than me because they have more sex than I. It just means they have a higher drive or whatever issues are going on with them. Sorry, whatever issues are going on with them up here or just their personal preference. It all depends. Some people are hypersexual because they don't have control over it. Like some people had head trauma. Makes them hypersexual. Some people are narcissistic and hypersexual. Some people are autistic and hypersexual. It's all kind of shit we're doing that affects children when they're born and affects them as they're developing, that they're growing up with all these problematic behaviors that everyone's judging them for when it's not their fault. So I'm very understanding about things like that, mainly because I do have some of those problematic behaviors. And I don't like to be judged for them. And I don't judge anyone else for them because, hey, their personal choices and personal preferences and the things that they don't have control over, as long as you're upfront and honest and saying, hey, this is how it is. This is who I am. This is what I do. And if you don't like it, if you can't tolerate it, if it's not acceptable to you, then you don't have to be a part of it. You can still be a part of someone's life aside from and outside of those behaviors. You just don't have to be present when they're having those behaviors or doing those behaviors. So, yeah, just because someone makes choices that are different doesn't mean that, and that you don't agree with doesn't mean that you can't be in their lives. You can just choose not to be around when they're choosing to participate in those behaviors. Needless to say, I was very sexually active when I was younger. I've only been with probably like, I don't know, between 12 to 15 people in my whole life, and I'm 40. So I don't know if that's a lot. I don't know. The majority of them were from age 13 to 20. So yeah, the majority of them were 13 to 20. And let's see. I've only been sexually active with, let's see, not that this is anyone's business, but I don't know. I think we should, not that we have to share this with everyone, but that we should stop even caring. Like I know people sit there and talk about, oh my God, did you know such and such is fucking such and such? Who cares? It's really none of your business. Unless you were there and you were part of it, it's none of your business. And it's not your fucking job to run around and tell everyone. Seriously, stay the fuck out of it. And then half the time people, like girls, I have like guy friends that I don't have sex with. I've never had sex with. And I probably won't ever have sex with. But I still hang out with him. I still sleep in the same bed with him. I'll still like lay there and cuddle. But that's because we're good friends and we trust each other and we respect each other's boundaries. Like seriously. And I still get harassed about, oh, she's fucking you. You fucked him. And no, I didn't. I really don't care what anybody thinks, but whatevs. Needless to say, if someone wants to be a whore, let them be a whore. They're not whores. They're just higher sexuality or sexually active. Higher sexually active. They're just more sexually active or hypersexual than you. That's all. Nothing you have the right to judge them for. It's their body. It's their choice. Just like having kids, it's your body. It's your choice. All those things are silly things to discriminate against people for, silly things to judge people for, silly things to alienate anyone for, and I think it's ridiculous. I think it's about time the planet gets their head out of their ass. I'm sitting here watching the political shit this morning, and it's talking about, such and such has the majority of the African American vote, and such has the majority of the Latino vote. And are you kidding me? What does race have to do with anything? That we're trying to get over this whole race and discrimination, but the more you bring it up, the more you identify people by their differences, the more it's going to be used to discriminate. Like, seriously, we're human beings. We're all human beings. What color your skin is just as important as what color your hair is. It's not. It's not. And unless you're speaking in medical terms, because I do believe in certain medical terms are certain, like sickle cell anemia is prevalent in certain races, and lupus is more prevalent in certain races, or you have a higher possibility of having certain diseases and disorders when you're a certain race, but but that's not because or a certain ethnicity or background or whatever. But I think that's the only time ethnic background or racial background or whatever should even come to play, and that's the only time they should even be able to be allowed to ask. Like, seriously, they're doing all of this stuff. Like, research has proven that this and that and this and that. If we just all start assisting each other the same way we assist everyone else, stop discriminating based on color of skin. I get discriminated against because I look like this. I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care. I went for my job interviews, piercings in my face. I'm not taking them out for anybody. I'm not taking them out for any fucking body. You don't like my piercings? Well, fuck you. I don't care. Don't hire me. That's illegal. If I'm qualified for the job, and if I didn't have piercings and you would hire me before you hired anyone else, then you still should hire me when I have piercings. Because it's not, my piercings don't determine how professional I am, because at work I'm not a completely different person, but I just don't cuss as much. When I'm at work, I don't cuss as much. I don't talk about sex. I don't talk about things that are obviously inappropriate around people you don't know. I'm friendly or quiet and friendly. I look a little bit different, sometimes scary to some people, but I do get a lot of attention for the way I look, especially at work. They'll, oh wow, I love your hair. Blah, blah, blah. People, and I just like, oh, thank you. And I try not to, yeah. There's one lady was like, wow, can I touch them? I've never touched dreads before. And I was like, sure. She touched my hair, and I'd rather she touched my hair than me, but she just wanted to know what they felt like. They're not even mine. Sure, touch them. I just feel like dreads. She said, oh, it was my first time. Awesome. I was her first dread she ever touched. Anyways, customers are awesome. Not all of them understand or approve of or find me as interesting as I find them, but I love interacting with, and I'm a people watcher. I love to see people. I love to see people and see their differences. I love to see people and how confident they are when it comes to certain things. Like, I like to see confident people. I like to see happy people. I like to see people enjoying life and doing the things that they love. That's when I love to see and observe people the most. And like, I don't try to be intrusive or like creepy, but I love to watch people. I think people are amazing. People are awesome, especially when they're happy and when they embrace their themselves and they love themselves, no matter what anybody else says, and they're able to be confident and because generally people like that, I mean, if they're not cocky and narcissistic, they're still very loving and understanding and accepting of other people. Like, hey, I am who I am, and you are who you are. And they're like great people to be around. But anyways, even narcissists. I know some narcissists. I love this little bit. And my daughter's going to be mad excited for her. Narcissists. I've been a victim of narcissistic abuse. Very devastating experience. But once you realize what it is and how it happened, because while it's happening and after it's over, if you don't know what's happening to you, I don't know how we went from life hacks to narcissistic abuse, but if you don't know what's happening to you and you aren't aware that the person you're involved with or the person you're being abused by is a narcissist, it's very confusing. It's very upsetting. It's very demeaning. It's very destructive. And so, until you understand narcissism and narcissistic abuse, going through it is even more so devastating for people that don't understand it and don't realize that that's what they're going through. Not until I understood that's what was happening to me. And that was just aside from the whole abuse thing from Jeff Miller and the control that the courts were allowing him to have. That was aside from that. I was being narcissistically abused in a relationship, and I could, and until you understand what's happening and until you understand how to deal with it, like you can seriously still be in a I don't suggest it, but narcissists need love too, and it's not their fault. It's a result of parenting. It's a result of conflicted parenting. One parent being a very specific way, and another parent being the complete opposite in a very specific way, and that results in narcissism. Also happens a lot when people go into the military because they're the authoritative style at home versus the authoritative style in the military, and police academies as well, is very different. One is, and believe it or not, military and police academy or police, whatever, they're very mentally destructive. Boot camps, I don't know if they are anymore, but they used to be very emotionally and mentally destructive, and that would cause narcissism. But at the same time, they're highly praising for certain successes and blah, blah. Okay, so anyways, if it doesn't happen at home and you join the military at a very young age, or sometimes police academies at a very young age, you can also develop narcissism, because it's still a point in time when you're still developing. Your brain is still developing until the age of 25, and that's when it starts to regress rather than progress. And you can still develop narcissism. And I think you can still develop, a lot of people that are narcissistically abused start to develop narcissistic behaviors because their personality, their emotional stability, their mental stability is all destroyed. It becomes destroyed, and you start to act like the people that abuse you if it's not addressed correctly. So keep that in mind. I'm just saying you can still be in a relationship with a narcissist. I don't suggest it unless you know exactly what the fuck you're dealing with and exactly how to remain healthy for yourself up here. You have to set very specific boundaries. You have to learn to not accept certain forms of abuse, but to let them roll off your back, not to accept them as anything that means anything to you. You have to take away a lot of the, sometimes people will say things or be mean to you and you take it real personal because you're like, wow, that's just mean. That's horrifying. But you have to learn to get thick skin when it comes to certain things that narcissists do, because it's just their form of manipulation that they use. They use gaslighting. They use all kinds of stuff. But you have to be thick skinned to some of it and understand that they're not. It is intentional, but it's not necessarily intentional. Intent doing for so long. Because the only needs that they know how to fill are their own. The only needs that they know how to meet are their own. And they don't necessarily have empathy or compassion for anyone else's needs. And so that's when things become destructive towards other people. So unless it's like a malignant narcissist who's really going to you have to keep yourself from being a supply for them. You have to not take a lot of things very personally. And I do believe that narcissists are capable of loving other people. I know a lot of people say they can't. They don't love other people. You're only a supply. Okay, that's fine. That's understandable that you're only a supply to someone. You're only in their lives. Narcissists, you're only going to be in their lives if you serve a purpose in their life. Now, if you can accept that and you can maintain the ability to have a purpose for that someone, then do it if they mean that much to you. But if you can't at all costs, get out, because narcissism is very destructive unless you know how to deal with it. Trust and believe. You have to be very accepting and understanding of people that are narcissistic. 9 times out of 10, narcissists are not faithful. 9 times out of 10, narcissists are very either hypersexual or they just don't care. It's their business and it's none of your business. So that's just something if that's not something you can deal with, then you probably shouldn't be in that relationship. If you're expecting to be like the number one only person in that person's life, it's not going to happen. Not with a narcissist. So that being said, I love everyone, no matter who they are, how many people they're with, as long as they're upfront and honest with me about it. Like if you're polyamorous and you're going to be in a relationship with me, as long as you're telling me that and I know that, and you're not deceiving me to believe that I'm the only person, well then I don't care. Like if I accept that you're polyamorous and I'm not, I can still be faithful and you can be polyamorous as long as I accept you for your polyamorousness, whatever. The whole point being is if I know and you're not being dishonest with me and misleading me, then I'm okay with it. I have a choice to be there or not. But unless you're honest with me about that, I don't have the choice of being there or not, because you're not being honest with me and I don't know the situation like as it truly is. Now, it's not anything. You don't have to give me names of everyone you're screwing. You don't have to give me names of anyone you're in a relationship with, or like sexual relationship or whatever, friends, whatever you are. You don't have to tell me all their information so I can go be a crazy stalker like some women do. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying just a simple statement of, I am polyamorous. The rest is up to you. That's it. I accept everyone for who they are. And if I love someone enough and they're polyamorous and I'm not, well, then fine, so be it. I'll be in their life as much as I can be because I love them no matter what. I do actually have somebody in my life that is not committed to anyone, as far as I know. But that's really none of my business. All that's my business is me and my relationship with that person. And I love this person no matter what. I love this person for every difference and disorder that he has. And I understand a whole lot more about him than he thinks I do. But he'll see. He'll see. I'm a very easy person to get along with, and people don't understand that. I just don't like to be judged and criticized and deceived and lied to. I don't like to be controlled, just like a lot of other people don't like to be controlled. And I don't like to be controlled because I am very trustworthy and I am very honest and I am very upfront about everything when it comes to my relationships. Yeah. So, as a matter of fact, I think when I first got involved with this person, it was kind of a committed relationship sort of thing. I had the understanding that it was, and I ended up being somehow, I think, like another person that was in my life that's narcissistic found out that I was with someone, and so they showed up knowing that I didn't really have the ability to. I feel like it was a cockfight, so to speak. Like, oh, she's with someone else? Well, I can still get what I want when I want it. And I think that I feel like that's what it was. Like, this person showed up on purpose just to prove that. And that's what happened. And it was someone that I wasn't at the time able to say no to, like, because I do still love that person, but I stay away from him because I already know what's going to happen. And I'm not going to put myself in that position because I don't want that relationship with him. But it happened at that time. And then I was like, the next day I was like, hey, this is why I slept with my ex. And I was very upfront and honest about it. I mean, it made the other person upset, but I was very upfront and honest about it. I don't ever think it's okay to lie. I don't ever think it's okay to mislead people. I don't ever think that it's anyone's obligation to inform people of exactly who is what and what is who to who, unless they're married. If you're married to someone that's different, you have a completely different obligation to each other. And honestly, marriage, the act of being married and having a marriage license, et cetera, is like just a piece of paper. When you have children and you live together and you're leading each other to believe that you're in a committed relationship and you guys are responsible and obligated to each other, that's marriage to me. So, I mean, we just got to be more honest with each other. It's what we need to do. I don't know what the fuck. 33 minutes. Wow. 33 minutes for life hacks. These brows are supposed to be 24-hour water resistance. This is the deep brown. I thought it would be darker on the thing at the store. Oh no. Yeah, at the store it was a little bit of a different color, the deep brown. I don't know. I guess it's the same. I don't know. I guess it'll work. I like the black on my eyebrows. I think I should have got the black. Anyways, I got the deep brown because it looked more brownish black. But it doesn't really look that way now. I probably won't use this one. I'll probably take it back or give it to someone else. Anywho, cheap. These are like $4.95 or $5.95, and this is like $6 or $7 something. Not too bad for your wallet. Anywho, that's it. I don't want to sit here and ramble on all day because I'm just nervous and excited that someone's coming. Shut up, Amber. If you guys knew what goes on inside my head, if people knew what goes on inside my head, I'm like the biggest. Yeah. But judging, okay, if you go by the way I was raised, I'm like a disgusting pervert. But only in my head. I like very rarely voice any of it. I very rarely, if ever, voice any of it, unless I'm all alone. And then I sit there and talk to myself. And pretty fucking nasty. I'm pretty fucking nasty up here. But I don't think it's really nasty. I think it's just a lot more people have that thought pattern or whatever than we realize. I'm unfiltered because I don't care what people think about me. And so for the sake of everyone else, to keep everyone else from having to be burdened with being offended by something I say, I won't say it. It's not because I care what they think. It's just because I have enough respect to not like start some argument or make people uncomfortable. So that's why I filter myself, for everyone's sake of being comfortable. Like me and my daughter, we talk about everything. She's 14 and we talk about everything. I already had sex. I'm not cool with that, but I wasn't there. No one was supervising her like she was supposed to be. And I don't hold that against her. I'm not angry. She won't even, it's really difficult to get her to talk to me about it because she was punished in an extreme manner. If you ask me, she was punished emotionally and physically. And I'm not cool with how she was disciplined for that. But I want her to be able to talk to me about everything, no matter what. So I already told her. I mean, she's not in trouble. He's not in trouble. But I'm at a loss of what to do, kind of, because people respond so severely and so inappropriately to these things. Like, to me, it's illegal for them to have sex because they're both minors. They were both minors. I don't know the young man. I've never met the young man. And I explained that to her. Anytime, if you choose to have sex with someone while you're under 18, it puts both of you at risk. It's illegal for you to do that. It's illegal. You're not old enough to choose to do that. And they say that because they're protecting you from older people, and that prey upon younger people, and they're protecting older people from doing something with someone who's not mentally capable of deciding if that's something that's okay and acceptable. And I explained that to her, and she said she understood. And I think she's scared shitless to have any sexual contact with anyone because either the way it was handled or I don't know. But she's very upfront and honest with me about everything, and I love her to death for that. And I don't want her ever to be. I'm not ever going to demean her, make her feel bad. I'm not ever going to sit there and make her feel like her choices are stupid or she made that choice and I helped her understand. All I wanted her to know is that it's not acceptable legally speaking. It's not anything she had been educated about as far as the consequences. She knows getting pregnant is a consequence, but as far as STD, she was unaware. I had to educate her on all those things. Anyways, yeah. All over the place. Gotta go. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. I gotta go. Don't feel free. Feel free. Don't be afraid. I'm going to say don't be afraid. Started to say feel free. Don't be free, whatever. Don't be afraid to leave comments down below, questions, etc. Yada, yada. If there's something you want to hear about, something about me you want to know, feel free to ask. Please refrain from asking any questions about my family and my situation there. As far as my biological family goes, I've decided I'm not going to touch bases on that anymore. I can't let that affect me because it affects me too severely, and it does inhibit my ability to be functional. So, thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Have a beautiful day. Oh, God, here we go. Another 5 minutes to end the stream.